Hello and welcome back to Stop and Go F1 and what is my third attempt at recording this driver ratings video because as you may have seen over my social media stuff and a few shorts on the YouTube channel, I was at the Hungarian Grand Prix this weekend, and as I've got home, plugged all my equipment back into the computer and some of it wasn't working, but I think it's working now, so that's great. Make sure you subscribe for all good stuff because this weekend we've got the Spa sprint race weekend coming up, so I'll be covering all things there and I'll be at home, so I'll be able to actually cover all of it this weekend, unlike the Hungarian Grand Prix. But as I said, it is now time to get into the Hungarian Grand Prix and talk all my opinions on all the drivers. My first opinion being that when I was actually at the track, I was sat at turn 1 and I thought the race was very good. I've come home and I watched the race and I discovered it was actually very dull. But there you go. I think my enjoyment of the race was kind of boosted by the atmosphere, and also I was sat at the only part of the track where anything interesting can possibly happen because it's a very badly designed track. Anyway, on to the driver ratings, starting with the Williams. Logan Sargent, he qualified 20th. He didn't finish the race. I gave him a 5. Not really sure what happened with him at the end there. He span on the chicane and then just retired the car with 2 or 3 laps to go, which was a shame to see, but there you go. Albon, another great performance from him, qualifying 16th, finished the race in 11th. I gave him an 8. I'm really looking forward to when this Williams gets to Monza, because that's going to be when they can really shine. They're a very top speed driven car, and that's the highest top speed track on the calendar, so I think that'll be when the Williams really gets to shine and we'll get to see something good from both these lads. Ricciardo, the man of the weekend, qualified 13th, beating his teammate on the first time of asking. He gets caught up in that lap 1 incident, nothing he could do there, goes to the very back of the grid, manages to come through again, still finishes 13th in the race, still beats his teammate. Misses the first 10 races of the year. This is the first time he's driving this car. I have to give him a 10 out of 10. Fantastic performance from him here. If he wasn't caught up in that incident, I really think he could have scored some points. He could have finished 8th, 9th, 10th, something like that. I'm really looking forward to see what he can do in Spa. Really, really great stuff from Ricciardo this weekend. Yuki Tsunoda, still a good performance from him. Qualified 17th, finished the race in 15th. I gave him a 7. I do think, though, he's kind of being, outed a little bit here this weekend. A lot of people have been saying recently that Yuki Tsunoda is a top 5 driver of the year this year. I've been disagreeing, and I think I've been proven right this weekend that maybe just because Nick has been underperforming, Yuki's been looking even better than he is. And yeah, it's not a great weekend for Yuki Tsunoda's future. On to the Hasses, though. Nico Hülkenberg, another great performance in qualifying with a P10. Finished the race in 14th. Good result for him, 7 out of 10. Magnussen qualified 19th, finished the race in 17th. Gave him a 6. Then on to the Astons, another weekend to forget for them, really just losing performance. They need some upgrades and quick. Lance Stroll qualifies 14th, finished the race in 10th, that's a 6 out of 10 from me. And Alonso qualifies 8th, finished the race in 9th, I gave him a 5. Now you may be wondering why Alonso gets less points for finishing further ahead, but I just feel that Stroll did look the stronger of the two throughout the whole weekend. And I'm pretty sure at one point Stroll was ahead, and there was a move that looked a lot like Team Orders to me to get Alonso ahead. So yeah, I gave Stroll more points for this weekend. On to Alfa Romeo, though, and what a difference a day can make. Heroes in qualifying, zeros in the race, especially for Zhou Guanyu. An incredible 5th place in qualifying for Zhou. Then he finished the race in 16th. Stalls on the start, tries to make up for it by braking very late into corner 1. That made that huge incident happen. Gets the penalty, and then he just really can't fight through anywhere. At one point, I think he was fastest in Sector 2 and Sector 3 on the whole track, but really just couldn't do anything about it. It's very similar to Norris in Spain, where he qualified so well, but had that incident straight away. And if you can't capitalise on a good qualifying position, then that qualifying position means absolutely nothing. So I got a bad result for Zhou here. I gave him a 3 out of 10. Bottas, though, qualified 7th. A good result for the Alpha there in 7th in qualifying. Finished the race in 12th. I gave him a 7 out of 10. On to McLaren. They are the team of the moment. A lot of people saying, oh, they could finish 3rd or 4th in the Constructors' Championship if they carry on this way. I say I don't see why they can't finish 2nd. They're easily beating Ferrari. They're easily beating Aston. And they're consistently beating Mercedes. If they continue like this for in the remaining 13 races or whatever it is, I see no reason why they can't be 2nd in the championship. Piastri qualified 4th. Incredible start for him to go from 4th to 2nd. He got screwed over by the team a little bit on the first pit stop. They pit Lando first, which I strongly disagreed with. Then Lando got the advantage there. I think he may have got some floor damage or something during his 2nd stint, and that slowed him down quite a bit, finishing the race in 5th. I gave him an 8 out of 10 overall, but yeah, great stuff from Piastri. You've got to remember this is his rookie year, and he's doing fantastically. I mean, if we look at, say, someone like Ricciardo, how they struggled to match Lando over the last 2 years, and for Piastri to come in and basically be doing it straight away, I think is fantastic stuff. I think he's the best rookie we've had in Formula 1 since Charles Leclerc. Really, really good stuff. Lando Norris, though, his teammate, qualified 3rd, finished the race in 2nd. Another great race from Lando. Gave him a 9 out of 10. And going from great to going to Alpine. Bad qualifying for both of them, really. With Gasly in 15th, Ocon in 12th. I think they both expected a little bit better than that. And then even worse in the race, but really nothing they could do. Yes, wrong place, wrong time. Both double DNF into turn 1. I think Gasly completed 1 lap, Ocon completed 2. I gave them both a 5 out of 10 because there really wasn't much to go off there for either lads. On to Mercedes, though, and mixed fortunes in qualifying for those, as George Russell qualified 18th, Lewis Hamilton in pole position. Great pole for him. Russell finished the race in 9th, Lewis in 4th. I gave a 7 to Russell and an 8 to Hamilton. On to Ferrari now, and very disappointing for them. Not Charles Leclerc, we'll start with Sainz. Sainz qualifies in 11th. Fantastic start on the softs, but then completely ruined by the fact that Ferrari won't let him through. He has so much pace, he's so much quicker than Leclerc on a track that's very difficult to overtake. If Ferrari just let him go past and use that speed, they could have gained a few positions, but they're just so scared to rock the boat here that they don't do it. Carlos Sainz ends up finishing in P8, and then Charles Leclerc qualifies 6th, finishes 7th. I gave Sainz a 7, and Leclerc a 6. I just think maybe it's PTSD from last year where Ferrari refused to pick a number 1 driver when it obviously should have been Leclerc. To the point now where okay, we'll pick a number 1 driver. It's Leclerc. It's okay, you're no longer in a championship battle. You're just fighting for any points you can. You have one car that's faster than the other one. Let that one go through. It was so ridiculous that Ferrari just wouldn't let Sainz through at the start. But there you go, another bad strategy call from Ferrari. On to the Red Bulls, though, and Sergio Perez qualifies 9th. Not the greatest qualifying position, but after his last 5 races, I think he'd be very happy to see Q3 and a P9. Then back on the podium for the first time since... he was on the podium in Imola, wasn't he? It's only been 2 races. But it's an 8 out of 10 for him there. Then Max Verstappen qualifies 2nd. He just missed off on pole by 0.003 of a second. Then fantastic start for him. I mean, normally Max's starts aren't that great, but he really brought it this weekend. It gets P1 into turn 1, and then he just runs off from there. The rest of the pack never see him again. Ends up winning by 33 seconds. I gave him a 10 out of 10. Record-breaking win for Red Bull, 12 in a row. A breaking trophy for Max at the end there. But yeah, great stuff from Max. So my drivers of the day were Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo, and then my lowest scorer was Zhou Guanyu with a 3 out of 10. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. As I said, make sure you subscribe because we're going to have all the coverage for the Spa sprint race this weekend. Then into the summer break, we'll have content here every week. So that'll be lots of fun. I will see you then. Have a great week. Goodbye.